All right, continuing on the series of doing the season recaps for each team as we approach the draft. Today we got the Indiana Pacers. Had to pull out the Hickory jersey that I have. It's Paul George. It's an old one. But yeah, let's get right into it. Coming into the season, the Pacers were coming off that incredible finals run from last year, headlined by the performance of Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal, the playoff rising of Andrew Nembhard. A really fun run to watch, in my opinion, going toe-to-toe with the Thunder. Tyrese Haliburton ends up going down with the Achilles injury that will hold him out for the whole year. Miles Turner leaves in free agency. They extend Nesmith, and they trade for Huff to fill that center void. This is going to be an expected gap year as they traded for the first-round pick during the finals. A lot were calling that a crazy move it's like they knew something was going to happen. Yeah, it's like they knew something was going to happen. But for some reason, a lot of people thought that the season wasn't going to be as bad as it was. I think because they had Pascal and Andrew Nembhard was looking like a good player. Their over-under win total was 37.5, and they were at number 17 coming to the power rankings, so just on the cusp of being a playoff team. As the season started, there's a lot less to talk about with the Pacers than it was for the Wizards. The season started as expected, for some, going 6-19 in the first 25 games. Tanking management started early with Siakam and Nembhard as well. They were resting games. Some was injury, some was rest. I think a lot of it was rest. But they both ended up playing 62 and 57 games respectively. Toppin and Nesmith also go down with major injuries early. That, in my opinion, sped up the tank mission. Both key players to the rotation, especially Nesmith with his shooting. He was going to have a lot of shots this year and expected to produce a lot on both sides of the floor. And Toppin's another one of those guys that was big for them in the playoff run. He had that one game hitting a ton of threes. I think he was supposed to come into the season and be another guy that took a little bit of a leap with the more shots to go around. A player that I really want to talk about is Tyrese Walker. He had a huge opportunity this season, especially with Siakam being load managed every now and then. And in my opinion, he didn't capitalize. He was losing minutes early to Jeremiah Robinson-Earl when Siakam was out, which was crazy. I saw a lot of people talking about that on Twitter. Started the season playing 30 minutes a game, so they were going to give him the opportunity. By the end of December, he wasn't even getting 20. It was really unfortunate to see because he was the former lottery pick, top 10 pick actually, and he just wasn't capitalizing on what was being presented to him as an opportunity. He picked it up post All-Star game, averaged 14.5, 7 and 4 on 45 and 39 splits. We're not going to talk about the free throws. Just ignore the free throw percentage. Overall, though, it was a disappointing season from, as I said before, the former top 10 pick, and he hasn't really shown this top 10 pick play that a lot of people were expecting coming out of Houston. That was kind of the story going into the season, like going into I guess the All-Star break, the trade deadline time. Not really much going on. A lot was what everyone expected. They ended up trading Mathurin and a first rounder. It was protected, but as we all know, it fell out of the range in the draft lottery, and got back Zubac for that. We didn't get to see much of Zubac post deadline, just because of the injury. I know he had that foot injury, and he came in hurt, and Rick Carlisle came out and said that he wasn't fully healthy. They didn't want to play him. He played a little bit, and then they ended up just shutting him down completely. I like the trade for Zubac. He's one of the best rebounding and pick and roll centers in the league, and provides a huge boost of paint defense, something they lost when Miles Turner left. I know they're looking to fill that center void, especially when he left, so I think the Zubac pick is going to be really big for them. I know he kind of plays slow and Haliburton plays really quick, but he's one of those guys that seems to be able to adapt and play and do his role and do everything that they need from him. It's going to be a massive, massive add next year. I'm excited to see how they use him. The benefit of trading away Mathurin is they got away from that internal struggle they had going on. They didn't know if they were going to extend him. They didn't know what they were going to give him if they were to extend him. So now they don't have to worry about that contract at all. And I mean, he was not really showing this in a contract year. He was not really showing what a lot of people were expecting of him. Efficiency was kind of all over the place. The production was all over the place. I mean, he's a really solid player. He got to LA and was looking really, really good. I like Mathurin as a player. I think it's better for them that they got away from that struggle altogether. The season came to an end, 1963 record. Pretty much what a lot of people were expecting. They finished second overall in the lottery odds. Some players to mention that I missed that I really want to talk about. Andrew Nembhard being the first one. He handled the increased offensive role just fine. The scoring went up, playmaking went up. He was good on defense. At times. There were times where he struggled on defense, but he did what he could. I mean, he was expected a lot on the other side of the floor, which he wasn't used to, so I'm not surprised that he kind of slacked off on defense, and he didn't really need to sit down and clamp a guy up and be the defensive stopper that he could be before. They were supposed to lose games. The efficiency went up despite having the ball more and taking 5 more shots a game, which is really impressive for a guy. He was one of those guys that was really talked about as an MIP candidate in preseason. A lot of people had him as their favorite. I personally had him as my favorite, him and Mathurin, because there was going to be so many shots to go around. But he didn't take that as big of a jump to win that award and be in the running for that award. But the jump was definitely there. The jump was 110% there. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do next year as he's developed more to go beside Haliburton in that backcourt. The next guy is Jay Huff. I liked what they got out of him. He looked really good in Memphis last year. He got that contract. He's a very serviceable backup big, especially with Zubac now there. He was second in the league in blocks, total blocks and blocks per game, I believe. He's just one of those guys that's going to come off the bench. He's going to block shots. He's going to be a lob threat. And he can stretch the floor and hit the three. I like him in their system, and he looked very well in their system this year. The next guy is Quentin Jackson. He came out of nowhere. A lot of people are like, who's this guy, Quentin Jackson? He came in and lit it up. He's very streaky, but proved he can play in the league. I don't know what they do with him if they keep him around. He's one of those guys that's like I think he's like on the fence of coming back, kind of outside looking in type of thing. But he's a player in this league, and he's going to be, I think, a guy that if they don't bring him back, he's going to get a contract somewhere, probably on another tanking team, but he'll probably get a contract somewhere. The last guy is Johnny Furphy. Everyone was really impressed with what Johnny Furphy was doing. Took a real big offensive improvement. The shots were increasing and going in at an efficient rate. And he's rebounding, 6'8", able to get the rebounds. This was all before going down with that torn ACL. Really unfortunate when it happened, because he was just getting hot and just getting comfortable playing in the game. So it was a really unfortunate injury at the time when it happened. Looking ahead. So as we all know, Pacers have no lottery pick. They lost the pick. It fell in that range of, that was a 4 to 8 range where they lose it and the Clippers end up getting it. We saw, I think it was the governor that came out and said that he apologizes because he thinks he messed up or something, but I'm not too worried about them. I saw a thing that said Haliburton's fine with what the team looks like right now. I don't know if it was a real thing or not, but I don't think they need to worry about getting into the lottery. I think the most important part is their full core is under contract for the next 2 seasons. I don't expect them to rush into extensions for those pieces just yet. They might let it play out for the next season, see who they want to prioritize to bring back. Tyrese Walker and Ben Shepherd are both eligible for rookie extensions. I think it's unclear where things stand with both players. Ben Shepherd's been a more consistent guy. He's been more consistent contributing on both ends of the floor. I know he went to that stretch. It seemed like he could not hit a shot in the playoffs. I didn't hear his name much this year, but he's been more consistent in the sense than Tyrese Walker has. Walker, as I said, he flashed at times, but I don't expect any extensions for both of them unless they're more team-friendly deals. A lot of people, including myself, are anticipating a quiet offseason. They made their big move with Zubac. They got off the first-round pick, and it kind of bit them in the butt, but they made their big move there, and he's a lot of money that comes in to add to the books on top of Siakam and Haliburton there. However, losing their pick kept them under the lottery tax. They could be in the market to shed more salary. I know the Pacers are usually one of those teams that doesn't like to go on the tax. They usually like to shed salary. For the longest time, they were one of those teams that was happy being mid. But now they're finally in a position where they can compete, and they know they can compete. So there's a chance they move back into the first round. I don't see them moving into the back half of the first round. It seems unlikely, especially with what I said before. Haliburton seems like he likes the team. He likes the pieces they have. And if your all-star player, all-NBA point guard likes the team, why would you do anything to mess up the team? I know he doesn't have to say he's not the GM. He's not like LeBron. But if he likes the team and what they have, I would keep him happy, keep it consistent. Because it was working before. It worked last season. We saw it in the run. And that brings me to my last point. Haliburton's coming back next year. They should be right back into contention next season. Probably another top 4 finish in the East. And they go in another run. Haliburton's one of those guys. He rises in the playoffs. Nembhard's the guy that rises in the playoffs. Siakam rises in the playoffs. It was kind of funny the season before. Like everyone was saying, oh, they came out of nowhere. But they were one of the hottest teams in the league for the second half of the year. Their shooting was up, and they were one of the best teams, statistically wise, in the league. A lot of people say it was surprising. If you look at the numbers, it wasn't. But I'm not going to be someone that's going to sit here and be like, oh, I knew it was going to come. Because I myself was surprised. And they're a fun team to watch. They play fast. They play really fast. They get a lot of shots up. They shoot at an efficient rate, especially with Nesmith on the wing there. And Toppin's able to knock it down. Nembhard's able to be a secondary ball handler and defender. He can get his own shots when he wants. Huge playoff riser. And now they get a guy like Johnny Furphy. If he's going to come back late in the season, maybe he can continue what he was doing. Who knows? But yeah, I really like their chances to be back in contention next season. I'm really looking forward to seeing them play. Seeing Haliburton sort of facilitate and lead this team that really improved this year. I say improved as in their play styles, players got more comfortable. But going ahead, I think the Pacers are going to be back.